No, you're not God. You don't have the answers. You don't have the answers, Connor. You don't have the answers. Let's just stay like, you don't have the answers.
Woo! Big up, everybody. Welcome back to American Idiots, episode 103. End the season, please. End it now. And then take whatever that little flashy thing was from Men in Black, point it directly at me and Sheik. And let's just start it all over again. But big up everybody, big up the chat. Make sure you're liking the thing, sharing the thing, commenting on the thing. We have an all-star panel today because we are in the mud, people. So I figured I would invite my not to steal from Sheik, but my fellow mud brothers in with me. We got Sheik from obviously Sheik TV. Link is in the title, and we got Don C, who's my brother. Who has to deal with that absolute fraud, flawless on Sarcasm City TV, and my fellow Hunter, and we are hunting Tony Claude. So that's who we're hunting. And then obviously my brothers in arms, Dal and Connor. Connor making a rare appearance back from the Brentford nightlife, and here joining us to lament this season. But how you guys doing? You guys good?
Great. Could be better.
Just here so I don't get fined, man. It's just been like that every single It's been like that every single show that I've done so far this season. Honestly, yeah, I've been doing better. Like on a real, I have been doing better. But here's what it is, man. Like we move. No future for our club. We move. We see what we do. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. Don C, how you doing, bro? You're on mute, but
You're on mute. Don
I don't know why he's on mute. There he is. Yeah, he's on mute. Unmute him. Yeah, no worries, bro. No worries.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we go.
Yeah. Apart from football, which is crap, my wife is on holiday, which is great.
That's fucking awesome. I love
because
that.
me and my kids, we can eat pizza, we can do what we want, we can relax. It's happy days right now. See what I'm saying? Yeah,
cheers to that.
Yep, cheers to that. And then Dal, how you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, not bad. I went on a hunting expedition the other day, and I actually found Tony Claude.
Oh yeah, so he's alive.
Don C knows. So a lot of my chef and preparation and cooking was done on the Tony Claude channel. But I'm ready to cook a little more today. But I'm not here to cook Sheik because at least, hey, you got to a final.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. In a second rate competition, and I'm not getting off of that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I had a discussion with our guy Yeti and Jez, and shout out Rossi on that too. And there's we can dive in that as well. But I just, not everyone can beat AZ Alkmaar, right? Bodo Glint. I mean, I know, and I thought they would get some windfall. As I think I said in the chat, don't spend the money, ridiculously. Be wise about it. And somebody put in the chat, mate, it's only 20 mil. So I don't know how much you're really missing out on, Sheik, besides the silverware. Like you really
No, and
besides
Sheik,
time
are we gonna start putting a silver lining on this right now?
No.
Sheik, think about this.
I don't
Think
think
about
so.
this, Sheik. You don't have to take that awful squad and that mediocre manager into Europe to get embarrassed.
True.
Think about
and
that.
Yeah, true. And I mean, like I said, it has been a terrible couple of days for sure. I mean, more when we do get into it, we can talk about the game and stuff. The only positive that I would say about all of this is that these scrubs who've been at our club are now linked to leave. And all of them, like Garnacho, Hoyland, Bruno, all of these guys are now all of a sudden linked to leave the club. So it's like, I mean, I guess if someone wants to say there's a bright side to all of this, I guess it's just that. So it is what it is. But yeah, we have. I mean, I've been saying this. We're in big trouble. Like we are. I think it's past the manager. It's past a lot of things. I think it's just everything about our club itself right now is just rotten, and we have to start somewhere. And as much as I can say, I don't want the manager to be here next season and all that type of stuff. He's gonna be here, and Ineos are gonna be here, and some of these guys are going to be here. So it's like. We see what it is. I wish this is a time where I wish I wasn't a content creator because I just hate talking about these scrubs, man. These absolute scrub individuals, like genuinely, like I hate talking about the same thing again and again. Oh, well, we lost. Like someone said this to me. I wear this hat right here, LA, it just says lost again. Like that's literally just what it means at this moment. So it's like that's yeah. Literally just what it means at this moment. But yeah, I mean, like other than that, I'm good. Like one thing I will say is obviously, congratulations to Spurs. I'm happy to see like all these Spurs content creators that I do work with be happy because I've seen what they've gone through all this season. Specifically, if I were to take some names, Jacob, like he's been someone who's been fighting for Ange all season. He took so much stick for that and all that type of stuff. So I'm happy to see him get his moment. And yeah, it's like anything he wants to say to us United fans, no problem, man, because they fully deserve to win that final. And us, on the other hand, Ruben Amorim treated that game like a Premier League game, bringing on substitutions in the 70th minute, giving Mainu only 2 minutes in a game. Like, that was so sickening. It's
ridiculous, bro. He won you guys the FA Cup arguably last season.
Think about this. FA Cup is the reason why we were in the Europa League in the first place, because we finished 8th. And winning the FA Cup got us into the Europa League. And he scored in the final, of course. Even past that, a couple of weeks ago, we played Lyon. We were on the verge of bottling that too. And who got us back into that game when he was brought on? Kobbie Mainoo. So it's like, I don't understand. If tomorrow he wants to leave and, he says, I want to do something better with my career, I'll clap him off. Because nobody, especially someone like him, especially with, our history with, young players, getting players through the academy, all that type of stuff. This is something you don't want to see. And it really, really, really pissed me off, man, because if anybody, all of us, I'm pretty sure if we were the manager in that situation, you try to put all your attacking players on the pitch, every single one. You forget about tactics. It's kitchen sink time. You try to throw everything in terms of just try to throw everything at Spurs in that moment. I just feel like we didn't, and he treated it like a Premier League game. It felt like we were trying to play for a draw with the substitutions that he made. Like Diogo Dalot just came back from injury. He's been out for like almost a month, and he got minutes over Kobbie Mainoo. Like, yes, it was only like 2 or 3, but he got minutes over Kobbie Mainoo. Xerxes was on half a hamstring, and he was subbed on as well. So it's like, it's just some of these things. And basically what I'm getting to is like, in terms of like the manager, and I know the manager is not the problem. He is a problem, but he's not like the problem. But there's not just much to believe in. Like, there's really not much for me to believe in going into next season. I just haven't seen enough from him in terms of his decisions, his lineups, the system too. Like, the system at times for me is just so frustrating. We can't play out the back. We can't break lines. Everything is just sideways, very like risk-free, basically. Like, I have no problem if you guys take risk. You lose the ball, whatever. But the way that Bruno lost the ball there, he had so many people around him to pass to, and he plays a simple cut, like a simple pass to Casemiro backwards, and it gets cut out. And then they end up scoring, and Onana, like, what do I say about this? The last time we won the Europa League, he was in goal. So I mean, that should tell you everything, right? The last time we won the Europa League against the Ajax, he was the goalkeeper. And look at just all these other moments when Spurs made that absolute crazy comeback in the Champions League semifinal. Guess who was the goalkeeper? Him. So it's all of these type of things. And yeah, man, I mean, I could be sitting here just yapping, but I'm just like fed up, man. Like it's genuinely, I've never with my own two eyes seen our club be this bad, like ever. It's never ever come to this stage. Like, and I was saying this, like obviously we heard about, you know, Wirtz going to Liverpool and all these players being signed with all our rivals.
We're gonna talk about that.
I'm sitting here, I'm not really too fussed because I'd be more fussed if Everton was signing a player. I'd be more fussed if West Ham was signing a player. I'd be more fussed if, like, you know, these type of teams were signing players because that's our level at this moment. That's who we are competing with. So this is just the honest truth, and that's something that I'm always going to say. People like to call me negative, all that type of stuff, but I told everyone at the start of this season, when people told me that I thought this window, the summer window that we had, was a 5 out of 10, people laughed at me. When people told me that we're not going to score more than 45 goals at the start of this season, people laughed at me. And guess what? We're sitting at 42, and to match my prediction, we have to at least score 3 against Villa. And I can ask all you guys right now on the panel, do you guys think we're going to score 3 against Villa? No. So it's like they did worse than my already terrible prediction that I had, which was 45 goals. And they're about to do around 43 to 44. So it's like, just end the season. Season's done for me. I know Flawless is going to do a watch along on Sunday. We already planned this. We're going to play GTA while watching the game. We're just going to have the game on the side.
Can I come? Can I
join
the crew?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I want to join that too. I got GTA. Let's do it.
Yeah. Of course you guys can join the crew. But it's like, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Like there's really nothing. And if I could say anything to, you know, some of the fans who are out there who, you know, go to those type of, like, go to the games and stuff regularly, don't go because what is the point and what is the reason? Like I get some people, you know, they are very emotionally attached and they've probably been season ticket holders for decades and all that type of stuff, right? I get that aspect to it because they live there, they're local, but it's like, just don't go because like we're hearing about, I heard that 200 people were going to get laid off today at the club. All this just like crazy stuff happening, and it's just absolutely toxic, man. Like it's so bad, it's toxic. And I don't know when things are going to change. I genuinely don't. I don't have an answer for any of that.
Yeah, well, so many people, and I want to get the rest of the panel's thoughts on this because I have some pretty crazy thoughts. I think it's just maybe a knee-jerk reaction from Tottenham winning a trophy before us while I'm in this content space. Like no matter how much I deflect, I'm in the fucking mud. Like I get that. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to go on here. I'm going to go on panel shows. I'm going to make an argument. I'm going to call Flawless a fraud. I'm going to call fucking Jacob an absolute wanker. I'm going to deflect every way that I can, but we're seriously in the mud, but we're not in the mud. Arsenal are not in the mud like Man United. And we saw, here's the thing though, is like back in like as early as no, you know, when you knew it was bad is when you kept Ten Hag. You knew what time it was when Ten Hag was retained, because that shows that your number one, your leadership isn't good enough at making decisions. They aren't decisive enough to pull the trigger when needed, and they are willing to sacrifice for mediocrity. Then you guys start making all of these cuts, and it shows how badly you guys have been run financially ever since Fergie left the team, because you guys haven't been able to win since he left. And then you bring in Ineos, or Ineos buys a share. What is it? 28% share.
Yeah, it's something like that. 25 to 28%.
And they immediately and you immediately start seeing these cuts. You start seeing essentially like your links to your past. You know, Fergie's ambassadorial whatever you call it, his
like ambassador role.
That gets repealed. They repeal the old timers fund. They do all of this, and you know what? If you are winning, that would be fine. Yeah. But since you aren't, it shows the direction you're going in, and you saw the direction that Sir Jim took Nice to. Like that should have been a warning.
And you would think this is like a bigger investment too. Danger. Yeah, you would think like this is like a much bigger investment. Danger. And I'm going to say this now, like I don't see either Spurs or United in their current form getting top 10 next season. I think it's going to be the exact same kind of shit. What do you think, Connor? I know you're itching to talk there, but yeah, no, like the relegation talk needs to be a serious consideration now, because you have teams from the championship that are coming up that have been in the Premier League before. It's serious shit now. Like you're not going to get an Ipswich Town this season. You're not going to get a fucking Southampton.
that is the worst in Premier League history, maybe second only to Derby County. Like, you're not going to get that. You're getting a very, very strong Leeds team, a strong defensively Burnley team, and we don't know who's going to come up through the playoffs yet. But anyway, what were you going to say, Connors? I can see you smirking over there.
I don't think relegation's on the cards. I think
on.
No,
Listen,
they're both very much in a very, very bad place. I think for United next season, I think no Europe's going to benefit them massively. I think in a sense that they can hopefully. I mean, the problem with Man United is, in my opinion, that it's not just the squad that needs restarting; it's the actual club.
Yeah.
You can only for me. I mean, we now see all these links now with Bruno possibly leaving, all these different players leaving. I actually think they need to just do it. I think they need to hit the hard reset button, and if it takes 5 to 10 years for them to do it, just firm it. If you go down below Liverpool in terms of the highest ranking in English football, just firm it. I think you can't keep going on with these years with Man United personally of constant rinse and repeat manager. You have a good, decent spell for maybe a year or two, and then you're back down to, this is the lowest rock bottom you've been in a long, long time. So I think that they need to hit the hard reset, start fresh, get rid of every single player that they possibly can. Obviously, you can't do that in just one window. It's going to take a couple years to do, but seriously refresh the whole side.
Except for like Ahmed and Mainu. That's about it. Ahmed and Mainu.
Some players that you can build the team around, but I do think as much as Bruno has been crucial, the whole Bruno debate is obviously in and out with some Man United fans. I think he's been honestly very crucial to them being possibly even worse than they possibly could be. But I think it is time to say goodbye to players like him. Let him go. Let him finish his career if he wants to go to Saudi. Get some new, fresh players in that want to play for the manager. There's a lot of these United players that really just want to play for themselves. And you just can't have that in a football club like Manchester United. You need to have players who want to play week in, week out, make sure that they get in the 3 points and not just playing for the sake of themselves. And I think they've got a lot of that problem in their club. I just think, they need a hard reset. And I do think no Europe will benefit them next season. I do think, personally, they'll get top 10 next season. I think, again, no Europe will probably benefit them 1 game a week. I think they can somehow manage to get...
They need a new manager, and they need players to fit the profile of the manager.
It's tricky because I think, it's going to see how this summer window goes. But we've seen it last year when they got some new players and a lot of people got very excited, like the Agates and all this kind of thought, like Lenny Yoro, as much as he has... I think he will become a good centre-back. But, people getting so excited, like, Man United are back. And it's like, no, you won't be back in 1 window with these couple of players. You've got to take time and rebuild the squad. They've got to get essential players. In my opinion, Mateus Cunha for 62 million. I don't know if that's a good start or not. I don't know if you've got to be buying more smart instead of buying a player who will probably... Is that if Bruno was to leave, the Bruno replacement? In my opinion, obviously no. Obviously I know it's different positions, but for that price tag and the money you're paying, is that smart? I don't know. I think they've got to be super smart, but with the way the club's in debt, the way how they've got to keep making cuts, I don't know what the budget is this summer for them, especially with no European football. Yeah, it's looking tough. I think Man United and Man United fans have got a firm 5+ years of being shit, and I just think it's as simple as that. And you just got to ride the wave and just accept it. Maybe get back into Conference League, Europa League if you can push for it next season and try getting back into competing. But you've got to rebuild that whole squad. You can't keep having some of these players who have still been there from the beginning of Oli. I don't know if some of them are still there from Jose, Luke Shaw, maybe. You got, especially him, he's got to go. The club needs a whole reset, in my opinion. And that's my thought on that. And again, I think no Europe next season will benefit them. In terms of Tottenham, I think in terms of a footballing opinion and not an Arsenal bias standpoint,
do you think Ange stays?
Yeah,
I want to ask you that.
I think. Do you know what? I think because of Daniel Levy, I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps him.
I think
Daniel Levy would keep him. If the Tottenham fans had a majority vote, they'd sack him. It's whether Ange. I think Ange has more credibility on himself. I think he knows he's not good enough for the job, and I think he knows the squad isn't really that good enough to be better than what they were this season. As I'm getting a phone call, sorry about that. I think Ange needs to go, and I think again another team that needs a hard reset. I know they did win the Europa League, but I'm going to put that aside, especially with the teams that did come up against, it wasn't too difficult to get to that final. They need a hard reset as well. Maybe now say goodbye to players like Son. Get out a load of the crap. They've still got a load of crap in that team. Don't forget, they finished 17th this season. That doesn't
20 losses.
That doesn't make them a good side. There is a lot of dross in that team. But again, it's the same as United. Look at the ownership. Are they going to hit the hard reset? Is Levy going to go ahead and put in the money to make a hard reset? I have a funny feeling Levy's going to look at this trophy and think nothing's wrong. We've gone ahead and won a trophy. We're all right. I think they're going to go ahead into next season. And I think they'll get top 10, but I don't think they're going to push for an FA Cup, a Carabao. I don't think they're going to get into, because I personally believe, especially in the Cups, when it gets to the latter rounds, English football, it gets more harder than the run-in they had this in this Europa League. It gets more difficult. You can't forget they did finish 17th in the Premier League this season. Listen, I all out here credit their winning the Europa League. I don't discredit that at all. I wish that could have been us on that parade today. But again, another team that needs to hit a hard reset, and both of them do. Yep. But it's the factor of the ownership. I don't think they're going to do it. And
I don't think they're going to do it either. Let me get to these super.
That's my piece.
Yeah, let me get to these super chats before I throw it over to Don C and Dal for their opinions on this thing before we get into Arsenal, because I want to wait as long as possible before talking about them again. Big
drinking,
up, big up.
Keep drinking.
Yeah,
you got more time. Thanks.
Big up, fellas. I was upset, disappointed, frustrated, but not angry. To be fair, if we lost to Arsenal or Liverpool, I would have been. Owners are the biggest issue. I think we all agree with you, Soccer Junkie. Big up, Soccer Junkie. Thanks for the super chat, my guy. Soccer Junkie, I'm assuming you're a United fan, and yes, your ownership is the problem. 100%. Yeah. Yep. Big up LLC side. Big up for the super chat, my guy. He says, question Sheik, who do you get rid of first, owners or manager? We all know Ruben not getting sacked, so do you think he deserved one more opportunity to improve United?
Get rid of the owners first, because like I said, who's the one who makes all these appointments? Who's the one who told Ruben Amorim it is now or never without properly backing him in the summer, letting go of attacking players? By the way, the players that we let go of today, Anthony scored. Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay is now a
what a goal,
champion.
by the way, from Scott McTominay. What a goal!
He's a baller. People, he's a low key baller.
He left United.
Disrespect him way too much.
Scott McTominay has won a league title now, and it's like it's so many of like these decisions, right? But to answer the question itself, like the owners, because I've been saying this since the start of the season. Right. When we were even linked with Ineos, the fact that it's only a 25% stake, which means that you've signed a deal with the Glazers, and the Glazers are still going to be overviewing everything, and that itself is the issue. And all these things and lies that they told us, we want the best of the best, we want to bring the club back to where it belongs. You've actually put us in a relegation battle this season, so I don't know. It's one of those type of things where like there's nobody that I can currently look at the club and be like, you know what, I trust you. I trust you to call all this stuff out. I trust you to try to make some sort of change, all that type of stuff. There's no one. There's really no one that I can trust. And look at the owners too, messing around with the whole Ten Hag thing. Getting Dan Ashworth as a sporting director, then sacking him off after a couple of months. And by the way, now we just don't have a sporting director. And everyone was just talking about, we need, we need like a system of people. We need all these different departments and all of that. And we've done the rest of the season without a sporting director. I don't even know if we're going to get one next season. So it's like all these type of things. And now they're doing things where they're cutting off, jobs for people, not giving tickets to people who traveled, which in hindsight was a good thing because they didn't have to go and watch that shit. But yeah, like it's all of this. And it's like, it just screams like, one, they're under pressure, massive pressure. And then two, goes on to the manager too. The manager's under a lot of pressure as well. And it's like, because I've seen a question in the chat from Cube. Shout out to Cube every single time. I've been Ruben Amorim out for a while. I said this on American Waffle earlier this week. I said, regardless of whether we win or we lose, I am Ruben Amorim out, just simply based off of the fact that I have to keep the same energy that I kept for Ten Hag going into this season. And the reality is that Ruben's done worse than him. And I get it. It's not his players, all of those type of things. I get all of that. But it's like, look, winning 2 games back to back is not a hard thing. Like, it really, really isn't. Wolves have won 6 in a row. And if you want to really compare our squad with Wolves, yes, based off of this season and in form, they're probably better than us. But just overall, objectively, let's just be honest, we have better players. These players can perform better. And it's It's these type of things. Like we have 9
I couldn't
points
name more than
in 5
5
months.
Wolves players, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like maybe there's 1 or 2 here and there where if you do a combined 11, it's going to be tough. Trust me, it's going to be really tough to do a combined 11 with probably any club at this moment. But I was saying this yesterday too. If we trickle down all the teams and let's say we play a lot of these teams in the Premier League in 2 legs, most of them beat us, and that is very, very shocking itself. Like only teams that I can look at that we could be like, we could beat them over 2 legs are teams that are currently in the championship. They're preparing for it. They're making kits for them with the championship badges. So it's like those teams are the ones that we can kind of compete with. But again, just think about this. You guys have been watching football for however long that you have, right? The rivalries that our clubs used to have back in the day, the rivalries that just all the success that we've achieved, and just look at us and now, like just look at this. Like this is just the reality of where our club is. And this is, I'm going to just say one last thing before obviously we get to everybody else. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, some of these big clubs, they would have sacked Ruben Amorim a very, very long time ago. Very long time ago. Real Madrid and teams like that have sacked the managers for just winning the La Liga. They've sacked managers for not winning the Champions League, which they think is the biggest thing for them, right? And it's that itself should tell you. So the whole where Manchester United by name is not even a thing anymore. Why would players want to come and play for us? Why would someone look at our project and be like, you know what, that is somewhere where I can go to try to level up my career? No one would. And it's just the reality of the situation. And we need to start from the ground up. I've been saying this in terms of like signings and stuff too. Forget about getting the big names and spending stupid amount of money on them. Start by just getting, prem proven players. Stop getting players for a manager. That's the first thing we should do, because that's what the previous manager, when we gave him power to go get players, we got stuck with Rasmus Højlund and Mason Mount, who played both in the final and did fuck all. And we have to go out there and get talented players, because I don't want to see a situation where Ruben Amorim doesn't see December, or he doesn't even see next year. And then we go out and get a back 4 manager, and we're stuck with the same problem of we don't have players for that system. We only have players for a back 3 and all that type of stuff. So I don't want to see any of that. Let's just start off by the basic stuff. I can't believe I've been saying this for 3 years. Basics. Just do the basics. Like genuinely just do the basics. Go out and get talented players who can fit in multiple systems. You can play in multiple positions, because it's not hard. You can go out there and get them. I think we got linked with Mateta today. Bro, I would take a Gallo back. I said this yesterday. I would take a Gallo back at my club. For however old he is right now, I would take him. I would take an old, dusty Victor Moses at my club right now. Like that's how bad it is. Like that's genuinely just how bad it is.
Yeah.
Again, it's just one of those type of things where that's how down bad we are. And Wayne Rooney, like shit, like we take him.
He can run 10 yards per.
I fully hear you, Sheik. Well said, bro. And Soccer Junkie agrees. And Emerim out. All players can leave except for Euro, Manu, Ahmad, and recently promoted youth players. Also, Cunha is going to do very well. Cunha, I think Cunha is the guy that you're looking for, though, especially in the center forward position, or 10/9, exactly. And if Bruno decides he's going to take a fucking day off like he did the other day, you can put him in it as a 10.
Yeah.
Let me get through the rest of these super chats here real quick, and then Dal, it's all you. Arteta is the best. TJ and Don C say it. Ashba, I just said it because I had to read the super chat. You're never going to hear us say that and mean it. But big up. Really, really appreciate the super chat. Thank you for always being here throughout this absolutely wasted season. LFC Sai says Wirtz to LFC. Finally, we're replacing Coutinho. Brilliant player. I don't want Sesko. Arsenal, you can have him. Bring me Alvarez or Isak. We go for 21 N or YNWA. I'm never gonna say that. Big up LFC side. Yeah, we're in the mud. I mean, just to address that real quick before throwing it back over to Dow. Like we need a 10, and Liverpool are more serious about getting 10s than either Arsenal or Man United are. Everybody's back in Odegaard here, even though he had one of the worst seasons wearing the badge for us that he's had in his not only wearing the badge for us, but in his professional career.
He was injured, CJ.
He was injured. I don't care. He regressed.
Yeah.
He regressed. You know, I show up. You know, I show up to work pretty tired all the time too, but I don't get to make that excuse. But yeah, so no, it just shows how serious clubs like Liverpool are, clubs like Man City are. Man City are linked with a couple of ballers too. Like it really just shows the levels of intent, and we're showing that we don't have any. So yeah, but don't worry, guys, we're gonna sign fucking Zubamendi to be a depth center, to be a depth CDM, and then we're gonna sign fucking Benjamin Sesko when we're linked with Gyökeres. Like, make it fucking make sense to me. Make it make sense. Dal.
Don C's turn.
Don C's turn. Don C. Okay, no, let me ask Don C. Don C. We talked about this a little bit. I don't know if you have anything to say about United, other than fuck United. But you can feel free to comment on United. But I also want you to talk about Benjamin Sesko and the fact that he is now more heavily linked with us than Gyökeres.
Oh, do you know? Yeah, first let me get into Man United. Yeah, Man United.
Let's do it.
Fucking shame on you. We knew that Tottenham was going to win a trophy, right? But why did it have to be you to give it to them? Hey, Sheik, you need to show your face. I want to be talking to you, not at your screen, you bastard. Yeah, your team.
He had to step for just
your team. Let the shithole down the road. Yeah, get a trophy. No, did you know what it is? That made me sick to my stomach. Yeah? I didn't even watch the match, but I thought, you know what? At full time, let me go on and see the scores, right? And then I'm hoping that Man United do their job. Yeah, you lot was all gassing up yourselves about, we're the Invincibles in the friggin' Europa League, Red 10, all of that crap, and Tottenham now have beaten you 4 times. Shame on you, shame on you.
If this was an NBA playoff, you'd be swept.
That's so true. Like,
you see, all you Man United fans, you should all come on stream with a mask over your head. You were the ones who gave Tottenham their first trophy. We all knew that was going to happen sooner or later, but you had so much gas talk. All of you, every single one of you, Like, I was like, I want Man United to win because I have my own agenda, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of us up here want Spurs to win. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But your team actually did that, And I watched the highlights. I almost fell asleep within the highlights. Make that make sense, How the hell can this be a final? How the hell can this be a final, and you don't put no effort in? Do you know what, bro? If I was a Man United fan, I would want the players that you mentioned out and Amram out with him. I want him out because you know what? I agreed with Connor and TJ when Connor said he thinks they'll get top 10, but TJ said it's going to be about 10 years before they can even, let's say, come into the league again. Like let's say the top 4, whatever it is.
Any type of like competition.
Yeah. No, I think it's about 7 years or so. But Amram has got you 4 wins this season in the Premier League. He made Tottenham, Big Ange, Mr. High Line, get a trophy on you lot. You know what I'm saying? Because for me personally, right, I see it as we could never stop Tottenham from winning that because we're not in that competition. If they beat us on a way within the same competition and they won it, then fair enough. But you lot had the chance to be like, we won 3 trophies, even though we finished 16th, or 16 out of 10, depending how you want to see it. You lot, right, let Tottenham win their first trophy. So shame on you, my brother. Shame on you,
now you gotta deal with De Niro. That's the worst part. Is you gotta deal with like Jacob and De Niro now for the next year. I'm never coming back on your channel, Sheik. I'm never coming back. Oh my days.
I mean, like, look, it is what it is, man. Like, genuinely, it's like I think everything. Like, I've been on a lot of shows, obviously, since the final and stuff like that. And what more can I say? Like, there's nothing. Even all
at least
season,
you didn't run. At least
yeah. Oh, that's stuff. I mean, look, if we go to the championship one day, I'll still be here and I'll still do the watch alongs and all that type of stuff because I'm not that type of person, right? A shout out Tony Clark under TV, whatever. But yeah, like I'm not that type of.
He better come on. He better fucking come on the show tomorrow. We're running a show tomorrow with Flawless.
But Don C's right. Like, look, we have to. This was the fear. It's like the fact that we are that team that gave Spurs that trophy, a European trophy. All of that type of stuff. It makes me sick, but it's like, look, this is just the reality of everything, and I want everything to burn down. Like as much as I can sit here and people want to call me negative and all that type of stuff. I just want, end of the day, what is the best for my club. I've always wanted the best for my club. There's no player, there's no manager, there's no person in the board that is above Manchester United Football Club, and that should always be the thing. And that's just currently where I stand. I've been fighting battles with my own fan base. There were people, I've been looking for a guy named Z, and he's not been around because he told me at the start of the season we were going to score 89 goals, and we were going to do this and we were going to do that. So yeah, it's like
what went through his mind to think that with Xerxes and Hoyland?
Saeed told me over the summer, like to my face, when I was with him in LA, he said that they were going to score over 70.
Honestly, we should
What I'm
rewind
saying-
that Man United v Fulham game when Xerxes scored that 1-0 goal, and the reaction from everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we've got someone in it."
That's the thing
No,
though,
no.
bro.
Remember
I
when
think
Griggs?
Xerxes is actually an alright player. I just don't
Remember
think
when
he's-
Griggs? Oh my God! During I don't know if you guys watched Staffy's watch along for Amarim's first game when they scored in the first whatever like 5 minutes of the match or whatever. Yeah, first couple of minutes, he's like, "We're winning the league. We're winning the league."
Oh.
He said that. Go back and watch it. Michael Griggs, he fucking did it, and I was just like, "That's where it went wrong."
Yeah, it's just like
Same.
it's yeah, it's just one of those things where, man, people get emotional. People get way too emotional about things, and
just remember
I get it.
that.
Like
It's
sometimes
hilarious.
there's been part of this season too where, like, of course you can go back to some of my games, some of my shows that I've talked about where I've gotten a little bit emotional about it too. But I think the main reason behind all of this is just because we're just so desperate to be at a certain level. And we've just been so down bad, like for the past like 2-3 years. It's just like that's the only thing we have is some sort of copium, all that type of stuff, whatever you want to call it. But nah, it's like for me, I'm at a point now where it's like now I'm not gonna hide away from any type of shows. I've actually been doing so many United shows like recently, and my thing is that I just want everyone to know the reality that we're in. I want everyone to stop being emotional, stop being all these type of things, and I want everyone to just know what the reality of our team is, what the reality of our club is. And this is it. We're here genuinely acting like a broke club. Like we talked about this yesterday, TJ, when we were on Hassan's channel. RSM mentioned this. The amount of money that we're actually losing going into next season is sickening. Like
It is crazy.
We have to owe Adidas 10 million for not qualifying for the Champions League. We have to owe like 10 million for not having any European football at all. We have
You give Adidas a rebate for being bottlers.
Like
That's
I
what you
genuinely think Cunha is just our transfer budget.
So weird.
That's just gonna take a big
That's what I mean.
chunk out of our
I think
transfer
you've got
budget.
to be smarter than Cunha.
Exactly.
I
And
know
that's
he's a
why
good
I'm like,
player.
we
and I
don't
think
have
he
to go
would
for the
benefit
big
you.
players.
It's just
Dude,
you've got to
anybody's
be
better.
so-
Like everybody's
forced.
better. Anybody's better than Hoyland.
Of
Like,
course,
like
yeah.
they're just desperate.
There's a lot of deals out there, man. Like I've talked to so many people that I've done shows with. Like shout out to Steve. I can mention Steve because we all know
Big up,
Steve, right?
Steve-o.
Steve should get a transfer window for us. Like genuinely give Steve a transfer window, and I think he would do wonders because it's just that he's scouting, getting deals done, and all that type of stuff. Because I think it's everyone gets lost in this thing that like right now, like again, it's just me saying reality. Everyone gets lost in this whole thing that, oh, we're Man United. We're big Manchester United. We should go for the big players, this and that. Guys, we are not that club anymore. We are not that club.
What's going on with Xerxes? I don't understand this whole Xerxes Hoyland thing. Why did he play Xerxes?
I mean, playing
Was Xerxes injured?
But he was injured, and I think
Okay.
this is one thing. Like, I respect him for trying to rush back for the final and try to be there for the team because that's something that I always respect. But it's like, when he should have been brought on, he wasn't brought on. I think we should have made changes at halftime. And hear me out. Do not cuss me out. Garnacho should have been brought at halftime. As much as I don't like him, he should have been brought at halftime because Mason Mount was just running like a headless chicken out there. And it's like everyone, again, a couple of weeks ago,
Mason Mount was getting it. Mason Mount was getting in the way of your shots. Like there was one clear-cut opportunity, and he blocked it.
Exactly. And it's like a couple of weeks ago, the guy scored against Brentford. The guy scored against Brentford. The guy scored against 2 goals against Bilbao. Oh, what a great touch. He never done that at Chelsea before. He's back, blah, 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 blah. Again, where are these people now? Because I've been sitting here and telling you guys a lot with all the other content creators that I do work with that this isn't it. And don't get fooled by 1 or 2 performances. Look at how the season has gone. Look at just his career. I think him just being like playing in those games that he had was the most that we've seen from him at the club. And this guy signed last year. He signed last year for us. And this is the most that we've been seeing him. I think, Getty Images have never taken more pictures of Mason Mount before in a United shirt because this is the most that they've been seeing him now. So it's like, it's one of those type of things where like, yeah, man, like it's an absolute shit show from top to bottom. It's an absolute shit show. I feel disgusted with Lindelof is still here. How long has he been at the club? Luke Shaw is still here.
I was about to say,
how long is he?
Harry Maguire.
Who brought Lindelof in? I was
Mourinho.
trying to remember that.
Mourinho.
Yeah, because we were talking about
brought
Mourinho. I
Lindelof.
didn't remember if that was OGS or Mourinho.
Yeah,
Sorry.
And Mourinho told all you guys when he said that finishing second was his best ever achievement. He told you, he meant it. Because that just shows literally how tough of a job this really is currently at this moment. To flip Manchester United around, to some sort of, competitive level is probably one of the hardest jobs right now in the world. Not saying that it's like, and it's not saying that it's all just on a manager. It's also just like everything regarding the club, right? And it's
that's where I kind of disagree, because I mean, it is the manager. You have not been the same club since Fergie left.
Yeah,
it goes back, right? It's not just Ole, David Moyes. It's not Van Gaal. It's none of their fault. It's the fault of the ownership and the board not getting the proper manager in when Sir Alex Ferguson left. Plus, he had the class of '92, Sheik. I mean, that was revolutionary at the time to have that sort of academy kids come up and play at that level and actually start to dominate. Don C knows exactly what I'm talking about, and then to go on and replace David Beckham with Ronaldo. I mean, it was success after success after success. But now it's kind of like the chickens have come home to roost because you don't want to get in that manager, system, right? Because I don't think you'll ever find any success like that. Obviously, Chelsea did, but they're not. I mean, it's not working for them now, right? So there isn't really any proof that manager after manager. This is where I disagree probably with anyone on the panel. I think you stick with Amarin, give him $100 million you have to spend a maximum maybe until you sell off players. Because it really is about the players. It's a bad group. It's a very bad group. And we're so indifferent to it because that's not what the past has been, right? It's always been a good group. You have 3 or 4 star names, right? To me, the 2017 was incredible with Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo. And the reality is you'll never be able to recapture that. Right, and we'll never really be able to capture Bergkamp, Henry, and Perez. The clubs keep looking for that, but in all honesty, those types of players may exist somewhere out in the ether, but they're not looking at United and Arsenal, right? Especially not United now, because your brand has been damaged so bad over the last few years. And you could go look at that $100 million player, but again, it's like Arsenal. One player is not going to change things in the league. It's not going to just reverse fortunes. Even if we were to get Gyökeres, he scores 12 goals. How is Arteta going to treat him, right? And same thing, if you were to get Gyökeres, if he doesn't perform under Amarim, then it's just another Højlund part 2, right?
Yeah.
So I still think that the foundation has to start somewhere, and it really has to start at the manager, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing though, is like now I agree with a lot of the stuff that you say. The only thing that I would obviously say about the manager is that we're going to be in a situation next year where realistically, I don't think we can get as many players out, and I don't think we can get as many players in, just considering all the things I said about us financially.
Sure.
There's going to come a point in time where you're going to have to revert back to these players, some of these players that we have, and it's been absolutely abysmal, some of the decisions that he's made, like allowing, I keep saying this all the time too, I think getting rid of Rashford was the right decision. How he did it and all that type of stuff, like if you want to talk about that, maybe some people will say it was harsh, some people would say that it needed to be done, culture shift, all of that, but then after that, he got rid of someone like Rashford. He didn't even let him be on the team bus for certain games. Right. But then you dropped Garnacho and then you bring him back into the team and then you go 20 games playing them and they don't score a single goal and you're sitting there talking about, oh, these guys are actually good players and they need to, in the final third, they're this and they're that. But then you're just continuing to play them again and again. So it's like with the manager, I'm at the stage where it's just there's not enough for me that I saw from him in terms of decision making where I can be like, okay, maybe he can turn things around. And again, the pressure is getting to him too. Just look at all the things that he's been saying in the past couple of weeks. Like I think he said, oh, if we win the Europa League, it doesn't really matter and all that type of stuff. But then he was all fully gassed when we beat Bilbao and we're going to go to a European final, buying tickets for people at the club so that they can go and watch the game and all that type of stuff. So it's like he's under massive pressure, and Man United is like it's a big league. It's the big lights and all that type of stuff. And
for sure,
when you sign the contract to be at a club like this, what you're expecting, and you knew this too because you walked into a burning house. You've seen all this and all that type of stuff, but I
don't think you knew it was really that on fire though.
Yeah, I don't think he really knew that it was going to be this bad. And going back to the owners too, it's like we need all these type of things, right? Like buying players and all of that, but it's like I can't even trust them because everything that they've been doing since they've got here has been wrong. I say this on Flawless's channel all the time. They've gotten here and all they've been doing is just been rectifying their own mistakes. Keeping Ten Hag, getting Dan Ashworth, then firing him, saying that we need to sell players and all that type of stuff. They're more focused on that new stadium that we want to build rather than, actually fixing what the on-field issues that we have. And one thing that they don't realize is that all this money and stuff that you talk about, all these cuts that you're doing at the club, majority of the money comes from on-field things. Signing players, performing better, shirt sales, people are going to come and watch the games, all of those type of things, and they don't really think about that, and they're just businessmen. And at the end of the day, and it sucks that it's becoming a business, and it's been like this for a very long time, to be honest. But the football is gone, the football is fading away, and it's more just so a business. How can we pump money? How can we cut losses? How can we do all of those type of things without actually looking primarily at the main thing, which is on field, fixing things on field? And I think that's really, really where we need to start. So like I said before, forget about getting these big names, forget about getting all that type of stuff. Let's just start off by getting some proven players that don't necessarily need to be part of the system, but need to have some sort of talent to them. And I'm not saying we should just go only for proven players. There are other deals out there. Just for an example, a Ryan Cherky is 20 million. He's 20 million. So go out there and just get signings like that. Actually scout and do your job. And we'll see what we can go from there. So that's really just where I stand with all of that type of stuff.
All right. Well, I'm going to move us on to Arsenal because we have about 45 minutes ish that we can keep the stream going. And you know what? I'm going to relieve Sheik of needing to talk about United because he's going to continue to need to do it because
in a couple of minutes.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yeah, I was going to say here's the thing, Sheik. It's hilarious how much people want to talk to you when you're fucking losing. It's and it's like when Arsenal lost to PSG. I've never had so many channel invites. That's all I'm going to tell you about that.
People love chaos. That's really it.
People love chaos. People love watching clubs like us fall. Big up LFC Sai. He says, question, Don C, TJ, Berta wants Yo Charisma, Mikel wants Sesko. Do you think the club will go again with his word, or Berta will have the final say in transfers? I Don C, you take this one, man. You take this one. You're on mute, my guy. You're on mute. You're muted again, my guy. There you go.
I just don't want to hear nothing about no Superman talk until we get a striker. That's all I care about. Okay. Like another number 6. I'm not with it. We've got too many. It is what it is. Look, right. If we bought both of them, that would be a dream transfer window. Yeah, I would rather Gyökeres. Just tell you why, because Sesko's a lot younger, and I'm not into this. We need to make players again and all of that bullshit. Like, it's been too long since we have won a major trophy. Yeah, way too long. Like, what is it? Gyökeres has scored. What was it? Was it 39 goals this season?
He's had an insane.
He scored like 55 in total.
Yeah,
or something
like total. I understand it's the Portuguese league. Yeah, and I understand that. In the Premier League, there's different level of defending. Yeah, defenders in England are on a next level, right? But the goals that he scored can't be denied. Yeah, because a professional is a professional. Do you hear what I'm saying? And the reason why that's actually that would be a great signing is because if a Portuguese team beat an English team, no one's talking about the Portuguese team being a poor league, are they? Yeah. We have been lacking a number 9, a movement of a number 9. Like, let's say if we can translate that Portuguese league into English league, that's 39 goals. That will be 17 to 18 goals. Yeah, 17 to 18 goals. I am happy
under
with
Arteta.
That. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and
I'd be over the moon if he got more than 15. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, to be honest, with me both. Yeah, but I think about 17, 18 goals. Yeah, that's unless Arteta does something stupid and put him as a centre back, because Arteta, it is what it is. Yeah, all right.
When we need that, it's mad that Kai Havertz is still our top goal scorer this season in all comps.
He's got 10 goals. He's got 10 goals.
Like 9, 10 goals. Like crazy. Sorry, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. This is why I said that I want a striker, because I don't want to hear this Arteta talk. I mean, Arteta talk about Moreno playing as a number 9. I don't want to see Havertz in a number 9. I don't want to see these bums at my club. I want a striker. Yeah, is that too hard to ask for? And if Gyökeres is going to come to us, do you know what? Pay him the money. Pay him the fucking money. Do I think he's worth it? Yes, he is. Yeah, because we can talk about having a striker to suit our style. We haven't got a striker. This is what I'm saying. So what style do we have up front? Yeah, what is it? Knock the ball to the big men, header it in, or make them get a little toe in. That's why
I think he wants Sesko, Don. I think he wants that because he wants Odegaard to lob the balls over the back line, like we've been doing for the last, season and a half, and someone to get their head on it. my thought is, you pick Gyökeres, you just play a direct ball, let him run onto it. It's not rocket science.
And guess what? That's perfect because he's a striker doing that, right? He's a striker getting double digits. It's like this, yeah. If I've got a leak in my house, yeah, I'm not gonna call an electrician to fix a water leak, am I? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get a plumber, right? And that's what Arteta's been doing. He's been patching over, putting players here. Let's take him here and put him there. This is what I'm saying. I just don't understand it. If we can get Gyökeres and we can get a Sesko, yeah, I think that's asking for a bit too much. But if I've got to choose between the two, I'll take Gyökeres all day long because I do not want to build up a player. Say maybe he can. Do you know if he doesn't have if he doesn't have a good season, then do you know what? Yeah, he's young. I don't want to hear nothing because you know what? Yeah, I will stop talking to these Arsenal fans next season if they still back in Arteta. You know what I'm saying? I haven't got time for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick and tired of this hopium. At least you know with Man United, you know they're shit. Plain and simple. They're shit from forward to back. Their back room is shit. Their what is it? Their stadium leaking. Yeah, there's rats. Everything is shit over there. But with Arsenal, we have hope at least. Yeah. Finishing second 3 times, yeah, it isn't a fluke. You know what I'm saying? As bad as we are, yeah, we just haven't got a manager to get us over the line. We haven't got a striker to put the ball in the back of the net. Right. Yeah. Like I keep saying, we lost 21 points from leading positions last season. So the difference is a striker. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we could have a few more tweaks here and there. But first and foremost, I do not want to hear nothing coming out of the Arsenal transfer window unless it's a striker. Otherwise, what we're going to do? Buy another 4 centre-backs and 2 midfielders. Like, what's the point of that?
I think the striker's number 1 as well, bro. But I'm partially afraid of Arteta, of course, spending the money. I don't want Sesko either because I don't want another project. I mean, how many youth projects are we going to have? You know, and Gyökeres can get it done. Gyökeres will fit in the system. I don't understand why Judge, you don't believe, you know, Gyökeres is the worst fit.
We have a CDM in the 9 right now, and we're
honestly and politely, fuck the system. We've been playing the system with Marino up front in midfielder playing up front for the last how many months?
Facts.
Fuck this system. If we're getting a striker that's scoring 50+ goals in all comps this season, fuck the Portuguese league, whatever you call it. It's still 50+ goals we're talking about here. I don't care whatever system. Just play him, and he'll run the system. I don't give a shit. Give the ball to him; he'll score a goal. You know, all I've heard is like, oh, but Sesko might fit the system more. Bullshit. I don't care if he fits the system more. I'd rather go for the guy who's scoring 50+ goals than a young striker who we don't know if he's going to fit in 100% yet, and if he's still making his way. Because I do think that Sesko will come good in a couple of years. But like Dal said, we don't need project players anymore. We need now, right now, and this is Arteta down to a fucking T.
Right, and even if we do get Sesko, you know why we get Sesko? Because we want to loop balls into the box so he can get his head on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if we can see that, Fekir can see that, the other players can see that as well, and it becomes even just more transparent that we're getting Sesko. Why? Because he's 6'1,000" and he can actually get his head on a ball, which Havertz can't do. Moreno did once or twice, you know, and it just.
The worst part is that Gyökeres is 6'2". Like, I don't get why it's such an issue.
I thought he was like 6'4". I thought Sesko was like 6'4" or 6'5".
Yes, so Sesko's 6'5". Gyökeres is like 6'2".
6'2", right. We're talking 3 inches. And I've heard some people say Gyökeres is that good header of a ball. It doesn't matter when he can get the ball and dribble through defenders and put it near post. Right? And that's the thing we don't have. Moreno can't get a ball and dribble through defense. Havertz surely can't do it. You know, and of course Martinelli won't get a sniff up front because Martinelli's probably going to go anyway. But the fact of the matter is, if Connor's right, fuck the system. Gyökeres needs to become the system, but Arteta won't let that go. And if Gyökeres gets stuck in the system, again, I think at times he'll be just another Havertz or Moreno because Odegaard will be the delivery man, delivering the same type of ball into the box that we've seen for the last 3 years. You know, and again, we're betting, and almost it's like you're betting on set pieces with Gabriel. If you keep putting balls into the box and expecting Sesko to head of them, you might as well just put Gabriel up there.
No.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, go ahead, Sheik. Go ahead. Sheik.
Yeah, just wanted to add real quick too. Like I completely agree. I think system wise and all that type of stuff. Look, you guys, we've seen Mikel Merino, who's not a striker, score goals, right? And system thing is like the team itself is good enough. The one thing that I think you guys are lacking, which I think you need to really, really, emphasize on, is difference makers. It's difference makers
Correct.
that will get you over the line. And when I look at Sesko and when I look at Gyökeres looks like a difference maker. Gyökeres looks like, any time of the game, you ask him, like pull out a goal, do something, create a goal for yourself, create around it for the team. One of those type of things, cross a ball in the box and all that, and he'll be there. And it's like his goal tally this season, his GNA this season tells you that he's a difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what you really, really need, because look, as much as I've slated Arsenal as much, for the past couple of seasons and stuff, you have gone all the way till the end, but you've just missed out, right? Just missed out on, certain trophies, just missed out in the Champions League this season, just missed out on Premier League like last year, all that type of stuff, right? And when I look at these situations, I look at, again, difference makers, and that's I think what you need in terms of all of the positions that you are going out there to get, right? Is you need some sort of difference maker, and that's what I would say. I think Gyökeres, in terms of a player itself too, I think he's much superior than Sesko. I look at Sesko, all I see is just a box crasher, a good striker, can hit the ball well, all that type of stuff. But when I look at Gyökeres, and I've watched Gyökeres because, of course, before Ruben Amorim was joining Manchester United, I was watching a little bit of Sporting, and I've also seen the type of player that he was when he first joined Sporting to the type of player that he's become now. Ruben Amorim put him kind of into this like false nine, free roam type of role when he started, a couple of, I think 2 or 3 seasons ago, where he wasn't the player that he was right now. But then obviously he's evolved into this type of player, and now his GNA, whether you want to call it, the Portuguese league, this and that, not good competition, he's still scoring goals. Look at what he did in the Champions League. He absolutely ripped Manchester City apart when they played the Champions League and they beat them 4-1. And I know it's just an example, but I look at one player who can, create goals for himself. He's good at set pieces, all of those type of things, and just a quality striker. And he's
it's a great example, Sheik, because the opposite is, Benjamin Sesko ain't scoring 4-1 on City.
Yeah.
That's
no,
where
he's not.
Example lies, right? Like we have proof that Gyökeres can do that. We have no data whatsoever that Benjamin Sesko can score against Man City in any way, shape, or form. And that alone should be another tick in the victor box. That's the thing, is it's Arteta not doing his due diligence while Berta is. Arteta's refusing the evidence because he wants what he wants, because he's an arrogant prick. It's the same story since he took over the job. He's trying to make Havertz into something. He's trying to make Odegaard into something, who's a journeyman footballer. And so, again, we can replace the center forward, God willing, it's Gyökeres. But if Odegaard does Odegaard things and is the main catalyst for our creativity and ball delivery into the attacking third, then we've got bigger problems than just a striker. And that's the thing. If you want to make Gyökeres the system, but you've got to get Odegaard out of there on the bench, and because he is the system, right? It's him and Saka are the system. So that's the thing. So we have to not only get the striker in that me and Don C and the rest of us here want, besides you, Sheik, but we also have to get in a real central attacking midfielder. Or my thought is you play Zubimendi and you do more of a flat 4-3-3, right? And you just have Zubimendi kind of move up into that, service part, the service delivery, right, into the final third. The balls will be more straight. They'll be more through the channels. We won't rely on flicks and tricks and hair flicks to loop a ball into a box to someone who's not even there, right? Gyökeres is not going to have his back to goal. He's not going to want to have his back to goal in the 18-yard box, that's the style of play that needs to change. And with Odie,
I agree.
It's going to be very difficult for us to change our playing style with Odie as captain. And
I'll
I
just
agree
say
100%.
one more thing as well, because I do have to close out and leave real quick. But I will say about Arsenal and just an example of this. This kind of makes sense to people in the chat, right? Let's just take 5 chances that Sesko and Gyökeres get. I think Sesko probably scores 2 out of 5. I think Gyökeres probably scores 4 out of 5, and that should tell you everything. And that's just, again, in terms of difference makers, in terms of getting people chances, and just the player that he is. I think that's what you need to do. And the second thing I was gonna say is that, look, you guys competed with Liverpool this season, and I fucking hate those guys. I absolutely hate those guys, right? But you need to be on this transfer window, because look at them. They've just lost Trent. We've been talking about Robertson leaving and he's not good enough for the team. They're now going to get Kirkez, Frimpong. Now they're going to get someone like Wirtz.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
this is a team that's moving after they've won a league title. And you guys have been so close to it too. And what I'm basically getting to is that now you don't want this gap between you guys and Liverpool to become just larger and larger and larger as seasons go by. So I get it. Like you guys have been saying this whole time in terms of like the board, in terms of like Arteta, all that type of stuff. But Arsenal Football Club currently at this moment, you can't sit there comfortable. You need to be active in this transfer window. Like in terms of like my standards for my club, I think deals for you guys should have been done already. And like just Don C said, a striker should have been the first one, because this isn't just something that we've seen from this season. This has been in the last season, the season before that as well. That
and the season before that,
and the season before that.
Even the tip of the Arsenal.
Exactly. So that's what I would say. But thank you, TJ, for having me.
Sheik, do you have anything coming out you wanna shout out real quick?
You know what? I'm thinking about it. I don't have anything coming up. We're terrible people. No, but on a real Monday is the Mud Brothers show. So that is the first time I will be speaking to M. De Niro, who did win the Europa League, and he's been just going off in the group chat. So yeah, we're gonna be speaking to M. De Niro. I think he's gonna have more energy for Don C, this guy right here, than he's gonna have for me. Right. So definitely tune in. Tune into that show. He's gonna be cooking and all that type of stuff. And yeah, the rest of the guys too. We have a whole panel of a bunch of fans, and it's a great show and all that type of stuff. So
it's a great show.
Mud Brothers on Monday. I'll be on A-listers as well on Monday. Oh God, it's going to be absolutely terrible. But yeah, all is good. Support. I think I'm 100, less than 150 subscribers away from 1K. So I'm trying to get to 1K very soon. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, and thank you to the chat. Make sure you guys are running up the like, subscribing, support TJ. Great content creators, man. He does great shows for you guys, and he gets great panels for you guys too. So definitely keep supporting everyone, and that's all I would say. And Man United. Man United.
Take care, bro.
Take care, bro.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Oh man, legendary Sheik. All right, guys, let me switch up the panel here. No, literally one of the nicest guys and one of the most humble guys too. Sure. Like there are United creators out there that are fucking annoying. He is not one of them. He is not one of them.
No,
so
cool.
I was going to go back to what we were saying earlier about Sesko. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I'm thinking in my head we will probably end up getting him, and either will go somewhere else, whether it's to, God forbid. I don't think you'd be stupid to go Man United with their current situation. Maybe Chelsea, maybe Barcelona, somewhere. I have a funny feeling that we're going to end up with Sesko, and it's literally. But the reason we're going to end up with it is it's because of what the manager wants, and if the manager wants it, we can't control it. And I guarantee you, if we were to get a new coach into this side, I think the first two big players, not like ones that you'd get rid of anyway. I think the two big players that would be gone would be the ones that he's rode on the top of the hill for, which is Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard. I think they'd both be gone. Yeah. I'm being serious. I think a new coach would come in. They'd both be gone because they're so replaceable. We can. It's not like Bukayo Saka where you'd have to spend tons and tons and tons of money to raise it. We can replace these two guys. It ain't an impossible job, and it really is. It's like Dal said. The reason we'd probably end up getting someone like Sesko is because it fits his system. I don't understand. As a you're meant to be a manager of a top football club. You've got an eye for players. You're this is meant to be your role. You're meant to be looking at players. You're meant to be, I want this player on my team. Look at all the elite managers, people like Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, all the players they brought in. Sir Alex Ferguson, all these players, Arsene Wenger, all these players they brought in, these world-class players. You can't sit there even as a human being who doesn't even watch football, and you see a tally of 55 goals compared to 21 goals in a season, and you're telling me you're picking 21.
Yeah.
But not even that. 50 goals last season as well. But you still pick it. It just doesn't make sense to me. If we were 5 years ago and we were getting Sesko, I'd be like, all right, maybe fair enough, because maybe then now he could be something decent. But we're now 5 years, 6 years. You know damn well, and you're lucky to still be in a job for next season, right? You know damn well that you've got to win something next season. You're not trying to buy the guy that Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea are all in for. I don't see anyone else in for Sesko apart from us.
There is nobody. Nobody's serious.
Is it because you want to be proving everyone wrong? Oh, but I got that guy good. You know, I got him scoring 15 goals this season. No one cares. Get the guy that you know will guarantee you goals. We wouldn't have 14 draws if it wasn't for Gyökeres in this side this season.
Right.
I genuinely
I think we win the league. We win the league.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. If we sign Sesko, it's an ego problem, and that's not even me being a dickhead. I genuinely think it's an ego problem.
No, it was an ego. It was an ego. Kai Havertz too.
Sesko to me is the type of player that comes from the German league, joins a club like Wolves or Everton, right? Gets a couple years of Prem under their belt, and then maybe goes up to a top 6 or 8 club, right? But we're not doing that. We're taking a 22-year-old that
it's fresh.
He's fresh. Yeah, just fresh. His name is like fresh recognition. And I still think that's part of it too. And the PR campaign behind the club is we got the latest, freshest 22-year-old 6'5", Serbian kid that nobody's really fucking heard of. And you're right, nobody's after him. I think Chelsea maybe had a slight link a month or two ago that if Arsenal don't go for him, Chelsea might, blah, blah, blah. But other than that, it's been dead. But Gyökeres has been touted around Barcelona because not only is it close to home, or obviously Portugal, but because Robert Lewandowski is 33 years old. And it would be the perfect fit for Barcelona. And plus, fucking Gyökeres is about ready to, hopefully, I think, win a title the next weekend. Rodrigo's already on the beach. I know we haven't talked about him yet, but all these things we're linked to are players that really are going to be gone and out, not doing anything till practically the end of June. So when are we going to sign these players? When are they going to fly into London and sign the thing? It's like Liverpool's already got things moving, and we're still trying to decide if we want. Go ahead, Don C. TJ. Connor's got me all razzled again.
No, it is. I was just going to echo what you and Connor said. Connor hit the nail on the head. Arteta is so up his own arse. Yeah, he's that save-a-hole manager. Yeah, that save. I don't get it. Yeah, you use Havertz that you bought as an 8 as a 9 or whatever the fuck he plays as, right?
Saved Odegaard.
Like Odegaard, that he's been missing for near enough 18 months. I don't know what's worse, him going missing or Tony going missing. I don't get it. It is what it is, yeah. All right. Then
they're both north of the Arctic Circle, so
the stars aligned.
Bro, I think something must be up there. I don't know. Snow bunnies, you might.
No, they're hanging out with They're hanging out with Santa in the North Pole. They're hiding.
Snow bunnies.
But then let's see it like this. Then he brings in what is it? We had got Zinchenko, we got Sterling, we got Jesus. Yeah, players that don't deserve to be at this club, but yet they're still at this club. The reason why I cannot get hyped up on the strikers, even though we do need a striker, and Gyökeres would be a perfect striker for us for what we have at the moment. How many times have we been in this position? Like, as bad as this sounds, yeah, Mudryk last year, what happened? Yeah. Even though he was a flop, but we weren't to know that he was going to flop at that time, or the drugs, or whatever it is that came out alleged. You know what I'm saying? But when we're in for a player of, let's say, that stature, money-wise, what happened? Yeah? Declan Rice, we just outbidded City. That's the difference. Because if City would have came with 110, they would have got him. Because when it comes down to it, players care about money. We care about trophies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah?
Do you remember the whole Thomas Lamar saga when he was linked because he was like 80 million? I mean, I didn't want him anyway. But that's what I mean. Big money.
Yeah.
It doesn't go through, doesn't it?
That's it. I want us to be like, do you know what, right? Do what Liverpool's doing. Get that pre-contract sign. Throw the money at them.
Yeah.
Because this is what pisses me off. I've been here for Arsenal for many years. I said it to TJ so many times. I'm still waiting for Draxler to come. You get me?
You have.
Same. I thought Benzema was coming the following season.
No, quiet. We could do this list. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of this shit. I just want one time for Arsenal to be like, we got a pre-contract sign for this dude. This dude's gonna be wearing this number, blah blah this, blah blah that. So when the league finishes, he takes a picture, fucks up on holiday, comes back, go pre-season, and then we go on to next season. I don't want this whole episode to happen because you know what's going to happen next season? We're going to be in the same position with Moreno and Havertz up front. And this is what I do not want.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because the Gyökeres news is perfect for us, yeah? The Sesko news is okay. I'll take him. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, out of both of them, who's going to sign the team? Which one?
Sesko.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean,
it's true.
Despite what Nico says, I mean, there's rumors that Gyökeres has turned down other clubs to come to Arsenal, and that's the thing. It's the links are so absurd now.
It's going to be such a long summer.
Like, why is it that we believe? Why is it that we were so solid on the Florian Wirtz links to Liverpool, but we're so skeptical on the Gyökeres ones? It's because Arsenal have been in the same merry-go-round, like you said, Don. And I'll say it 1,000 times. We have not recovered since 2006. We sold off that whole Invincible team in 2.5 to 3 years after 2006. All of them were gone. All of them. And that's what, and we've never replaced them. I mean, you could say Van Persie had a good run, that Judas, but he wanted to go win things. Right at the end of the day. Giroud, a good run. We won some FA Cups. Fantastic. But I'm talking 10 years ago now. The moment Gabriel Jesus was injured, we should have started scratching our heads about getting him out of this contract. For 260 grand a week, he is assaulting the club. He is assaulting the club. And we are paying this guy to rehabilitate his knee on a player who's admitted he's not an out-and-out striker, on a player we've admitted can be annoying at times. Woo, he's annoying, TJ. Remember those shows? Because he seems to be annoying, and he'll annoy the center backs. Right, and now we're talking about a 55-goal-a-year striker who, if he doesn't score half of them, it's 28 or 27 goals, right? If he doesn't even score half of them, 28 goals. Fucking yes. You know, and like Connor said, the proof is right there. Like Don C said, the proof is right there. The numbers don't lie. This guy is a monster. And he's 26. Sesko's 22. I mean, 26 to me, that's the prime age.
It's coming in. It's perfect time. I don't get how this manager sees that Sesko's the better option here. I mean, I get it. He could become. I want to get clear.
He's a potential merchant.
Yeah, I'm not sitting here saying he's shit because he's scored some cracking goals this season. Do not get it twisted.
He's not shit, but he's not the level.
I can't wrap my head around anyone sitting here and telling me that the guy who scored 55 goals and 43 last season is a worse option than the guy who scored 21 this season and I think 14 last season. Right. It's like it's chalking like. Please tell me where we're wrong here. So
brainer,
but we're going to wait and see. Again, like Doncy said, I wouldn't be surprised if Sesko's the one to put pen on paper. We were up for him last season. Arteta wanted him last summer. Couldn't get him because he wanted to stay in Leipzig for another year. He's going to try for a second go. We can only hope and pray that the guy who's actually seeing sense in Berta is going to tell him, "Yo, listen to me on this one. Go get the Sweden striker."
Can I go? I'm going to go ahead and just make a statement now. If we sign Sesko, what was the point of bringing Berta in? What was the point?
Well, yeah,
like that's my whole thing. Like if Arteta is going to get the final say and the final send off on these kinds of things, like what the fuck was the point? And we need a gunman like Gyökeres. Like bro, like remember when we had a striker? We had Aubameyang and he could just finish. Like the players behind him weren't great. And he could just make something out of
Sanchez. He wasn't even a striker, but what a player up front.
Exactly, what a player. No, and here's the thing is like that is how much of a difference maker in the nine can make. Like our midfield was fucking shit. Our back line was worse.
Even worse.
Dude, and he was going in there and making fucking Mustafi said Socrates. Like these are the fucking players that we had. And now we have all of the buildup behind them, in my opinion. Like we do. Like Odegaard on a good day is a Premier League class fucking midfielder. You have Declan Rice, who I think is going to be a generational player once he gets a striker around him that can actually deliver him a fucking trophy. Like we are wasting these guys. And I didn't even bring up Bukayo Saka. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I also think, you know what? I also think TJ very right. Also, another thing I like to say is, You know, I do shit on Odegaard, and I do think he is replaceable. However, I think this manager restricts our players massively.
Agree.
I think there's,
Yes.
I think there's. I actually do think there's so much more for Odegaard to offer, but he's so restricted, and I actually think this manager's somewhat shot his confidence a bit. Pass sideways instead of going forward, Martin. Just do that. I genuinely believe that this system has restricted so many of our players.
So risk averse.
And I wouldn't, and honestly, I've said it out and proud. If we had someone like Xavi Hernandez tiki-taka football, I think these players could be cooking.
Easy. Mate, look at 3 seasons ago. What happened? What happened to the Arsenal?
Yeah, bro.
What happened?
It's crazy.
It's I have to agree with you 100%, bro. He is restricted. He has told these players, I swear he's like that guy that do you know that abusive parent, yeah? I don't believe in it, yeah? But he's that abusive parent that refuses to tell his kids, do you know what? I love you. You are great. Look at Enyeri. Yeah. TJ's the one who was arguing with me about playing Enyeri. And I said no. I'm like, the shooting confidence, all the rest of it, yeah. And I said I apologize so many times to him. Yeah. Why is he playing him? Is what I'm saying. Why is he playing?
He's on the out. He's on the outs with Arteta already. He's on the outs with Arteta already.
Mikel Arteta doesn't like people who take risks. Look at him on the ball. He's dangerous on the ball. He will go forward. He will take that risk. And that's why I'm worried about players like Lewis Skelly as well. I mean, I've just seen a tweet that Nwaneri wants to stay, which I'm very thankful for, and doesn't want to leave. Players like Chidi Obi Martin who left, and Heaven, who's looking very sharp, by the way, when he has been playing for Man United. That's another thing. We've got these youngsters. Is he drawing them out of the club? This Max Dowman. Also, that needs to be piped down a little bit. I feel like we're giving this. I think he's great, but I think we're giving this 15-year-old.
Give him 2 more. Give him 2 more years. Give him 2 more years.
I just think
he's scored against too much. A good point. He's scored against 15-year-olds still.
Yeah, he's 15.
Yeah, let's be realistic here.
It's just like let this kid let him do his thing, and people are like, oh, he's in the first team now. Yeah. Like, chill out. Let's just relax this. So that's another thing. Yeah, I think the manager heavily restricts our players, and especially going forward. I think defensively, we're set up all right majority of the time, but it's going forward, man. There's so many times where we are literally trying to go forward. Players are like, nah, we won't take that risk. Let's go back to Saliba, back one way, and then we're doing it all over again until one player decides, I'm going to have that shot or goal, or I'm going to take that risk, like a Martinelli maybe will bounce forward straight into the box, try and get something, maybe cut inside. We'll play the exact same football next season. That's why I feel like someone like a Gyökeres, a player who looks like he just says, fuck it, I'm going to take the risk and have the shot or goal. That's a player you kind of need. Right. I heavily agree. And I do. And again, it's a lot of Arsenal fans who I think they're scared of change, but sometimes change is good.
They're just that are so used to just the status quo. Yeah, right. I can't fucking stand these guys.
It's just the fact that. But do you know what it is?
You're on the manager.
If we had, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing because I love the games this season against Real Madrid and the Man City 5-1. We've had good results under Mikel Arteta. It's just that it's also. Oh my God, he's turned his camera on.
It's cheeky. Actually turned. No. Dietrich Kane actually turned his camera on.
Bro just casually done it like it's nothing. Bro just casually turned his camera like it's nothing.
This guy.
Bro,
I'm doing it. I'm doing it out of respect. I'm doing it out of respect.
Doesn't look too thrilled, TJ.
Well, what's going on here? You've just done that casually, like nothing's just happened.
Because I'm a champion of Europe.
This is crazy.
All right. Well, all right.
Crazy, bro.
Is that all you came on here to say?
I just came on to say, everyone, first of all, like and subscribe for TJ because he's the #1 YouTuber. I love him to death. Well, like I said, I told you specifically. We're gonna win the Europa, but you don't listen. I told you Arteta's the biggest fraud on your football, but you don't listen.
Dude. Here's the thing about Dietrich. Dietrich is a good guy because he called me after we dropped out of the Gold Cup due to the Pochettino ball or the Nations League, and he just called in just to make sure that I was okay.
Yeah,
so that's why that's why I respect Dietrich's. I'm happy for fans like Dietrich's, but fuck Spurs every day.
Dietrich, remember, you're going to make a whopping $20 million off that trophy.
Yeah. Wow.
Dietrich, let me ask you. Let me ask you a question.
Well, we made 99 mil to just beat in the
semifinal. 2 questions because I know you're not a fraud. Dietrich, so that's why I'm going to ask you these questions. Number 1, do you keep Ange Postecoglou next season? Do you keep him? Do you think Daniel Levy will keep him? Two-part question.
Okay. Do I think we should keep him? No, because I'm not like the Arsenal fans that are just feel emotional about him. I think he needs to go, in my opinion. Regardless we won or not, he needs to go. But I think Daniel Levy's going to keep him.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah,
But-
he is.
I agree.
But I'll say
He
one
is.
thing.
And I
He
can't
might
wait.
be over the top. He
Yeah, he
achieved one of the biggest things since the 70s. I think he deserves at least a Euro. Or like even like a quote saying like I always win my second season.
Crazy,
I
dude.
th- I
20
think- I think,
losses.
honestly, I honestly think
You lost
Levy would
21
keep him. I
games
think
in the
And
league.
is actually a big enough of a man to say, I'll actually walk. Like I don't think I'm right.
Yeah.
I think he's that actually kind of a bloke and a man to say I'm going to walk. Our manager won't do that. He won't say I'm not good enough. I'm going to walk. But, going back to my point earlier, the results we've had against Real Madrid and Man City, great results, great games, and good memories. To not take the piss, actually good memories, but obviously didn't lead to anything. Those games, and I mean the fact that people have blindsided the fact we had 14 draws this season. Those little games are blindsiding, I think, Arsenal fans to thinking there's nothing wrong with this guy. He's been
No, Connor. We only lost four games. We only
exactly.
lost 4 games.
But that's what they look at. They look at the little things, but they don't look at the bigger picture. We will be here. It's a guess, but I bet it's a pretty good guess. We're probably going to be in this exact same spot. Hopefully not with these lot with another trophy. Please no. Next
I'm gonna-
season,
Do you know we can win 2 trophies this year? We can win 2?
You know what's gonna be.
You're not
You know
winning
what's
the
gonna be
Super Cup.
great.
You're
You
not
know what's
winning
gonna
the
be.
Super Cup.
You're not winning the Super Cup. You're gonna get
winning the Super Cup.
absolutely.
Oh no, but what did you
turned over.
win? But what did you win this year? Oh yeah, right. Nothing.
This is
Again.
the
Hey,
problem. This is
it's
the
true.
fucking
You know, I
problem.
love how
This is
you're.
the
I love how. Yeah, no. See, and I really hope that this
Cheers, Arsenal.
wakes fan. No, I hope this wakes the Arsenal fan base up. I really do, because I've said this. I said this in the chat. And I said this on Flawless' show. I said this on this show. I said it on American Waffle. No matter what, there is a silver lining for me, because Spurs winning will maybe wake the fucking fan base up to say,
But
hey, are we serious?
TJ,
I hope so.
I'm not gonna look. I've watched like a couple of. I've watched a bit of Arsenal content, and some people. I'm not gonna mention names because it's not right. But they even said you guys had a better season than us,
Yeah, they're
even
fucking
though we
morons.
won the trophy.
And
I'm just saying.
here's the thing.
But
Here's the
but
thing, though,
is
Dietrich.
tricky.
They're morons, and they don't. All they care about is vibes. Like, they don't care about putting
'Cause if
stuff
you
in
look-
the trophy case. They don't care.
If you look at it, you go to the Champions League next year. I go in the Champions League, but at least I go with the winners, man.
No, I said this before. It's like we were the teacher's pet all year. We did our homework. We did what was needed to be done to get into the Champions League. We weren't top of the class. We weren't valedictorian, obviously. But then you guys show up smelling like fucking weed and alcohol, and freaking and end up
What's wrong with
acing the
that?
final and going to the fucking Champions League. Look, I'm gonna really enjoy watching you guys get 15th and bomb out of the championship in the Champions League in the
Right.
league stage next season. I'm really gonna enjoy that, especially since you guys are retaining Ange Postecoglou. But enjoy your parade.
It's hard to spend that 20 million.
You guys are gonna get turned over like a bad fucking pancake next season, and I'm here for it.
Oh, do you see my
Here for
armpits?
it.
Do you see my armpits?
I saw a lot of lily white armpits today. All I'm
He's
saying,
not
no,
sweating.
Dietrich. All I'm saying, bro, I let you on out of respect because I love you, man, and we've been friends for 2 years. Like,
Yeah.
you're one of my good friends on this platform. But man, you are enjoy it now, because
Yeah.
next season is going to
we
be a
better fucking
shambles
win a
for you.
trophy next season, man.
No, I'm just saying for one thing, like, okay, I love you guys. I'm like, if it's other, like, let's say if it was Igel or other people or Stefan, for example, I would cook him. But you guys, at least I love you guys. I love you guys. But one thing I'll say, it's actually a disgrace for the amount of money you guys spent and you've done.
Yeah.
Honestly, you've done nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And
we didn't-
no. When was the last time you reached the final? Is it the FA Cup when you
It was
won
the
it?
FA Cup final, yeah.
FA Cup
Yeah,
2020. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's.
Well, the community
we
Playing
reached
it-
more
playing
finals
in front
than
of-
you.
front of cardboard
It
cutout at
was
Wembley.
the community shield because that counts as a trophy.
That's not a game. That's
That counts as a
Well,
trophy.
this
Jerry.
year, if we didn't beat Ipswich, you may be playing in the championship next season. So you need to
it's
thank
fine.
us for beating Ipswich.
Oh no! I've always said for me, Premier League table means nothing. If you don't win it, it means nothing.
Yeah.
If you told me getting relegated and win the Europa, I'll
Doesn't
take
matter
it.
who's second or
About winning
second.
it, innit? That's the whole point of being in any league.
Exactly.
You're gonna win it. It's
Top four for me, I couldn't
if
care
you're
less.
in
I've
the
watched
top-
Spurs being in the top four means nothing.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah,
Bro.
can I ask you a question? And I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm seriously trying not to be an asshole. And then we're gonna need to wrap it up because I got
Yeah.
in-laws in town again. Question for you: So this Europa League,
Yeah.
in my opinion, is one of the worst Europa Leagues I've ever seen in terms of quality of team. We had the 16th place and 17th place team in the Premier League in the final.
Yeah.
Do you think that dilutes the value of the Europa League trophy versus when Chelsea beat us in Baku? Like comparatively. Because you had teams dropping down from the Champions League.
Right. That's the caveat.
Is there an asterisk?
Well, if you look, no, if we're being fair, would you say like back in the days it was harder to win the Europa? Yes. I'll admit yes. It was.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
But I don't think it was fair. Like, I'm not saying because we won it. I don't think it was fair for Champions League teams to drop in the Europa. I don't think it's fair to give someone a second chance.
Oh no, I agree. I agree with you. And I agree with the format. And I agree with the format change. Don't get me wrong. I agree because a Champions League team dropping down and being able to just get into the knockout stage is ridiculous.
Actually, you shouldn't be doing that.
It's not fair for me.
But the format change is ridiculous. But I think there needs to be a lot more. Like, this was the first year of this format, right? Yeah. I'm really anxious to see the quality of the field in the next 5 to 10 years and where this victory will be on that scale. That's all I'm trying to say.
Because even if you look the Champions League, City didn't even make it off the group stage, like on the formats. Yeah. So I don't think I think just the format now. I think it's a lot better. And to be honest with you,
the format now is awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I think we did play some hard teams. If you look Frankfurt, that's not an easy game, home and away. Bodo Glimt.
That was about it.
Don't. No. I was about to say Bodo Glimt only away because like it's cold and everything, but like it wasn't hard. But at the end of the day, it's what you want.
Don't get me wrong, yeah. You had, in my opinion, you had an easy run. And to be fair, not even to sound like I think Arsenal could have gone ahead and done it this season. I think they could have done it.
But you guys too had an easy run when you lost against
This is what I mean. I even as a football fan, much as I fucking hate you lot, and I can't easily Tottenham with a team that I hate the most. Yeah, laugh right there, laugh. Listen, this next year, if we don't win a trophy, debates for Tottenham fans are going to be literally impossible at the moment, even with previous history. The fact that you guys have never even won fucking Premier League, or sorry, no. What? How many do you have? One? No, it's none, isn't it? Yeah,
the 60s.
One. There's a one. Yeah, the 60s. Sorry, my bad.
They have a div one.
How many European trophies do you have?
This guy, man.
No, we got a Collins Cup.
We got a cup winner's cup. Respect our cup winner's cup in the 93.
The point I'm trying to make is I can't, as a football fan in general, discredit any team winning a trophy in it. Like, you've won it, fair play, and you have gone ahead and done it. And listen, even if it was in the situation it was with that fucking Brennan Johnson goal, man, I swear to God,
Jesus.
No, blame Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw
was absolute shit.
But just listen,
that entire game.
All aside, isn't it? Like, congratulations, D-Chex, in it, because you've done something in the space of a time under Ange Postecoglou that our manager couldn't do in the space
2 years, not 5 years.
Well, yeah. So, but do you know what? But like TJ said, I hope next year's even more pain for you in the league, and you don't end up winning anything.
You guys have an awful schedule next season, and you are going to.
You know what? If Arteta had all the cockiness and the ego that he has, he couldn't even make a comment to say how he thought about Tottenham winning the Europa. I don't speak about other teams. Bro, you literally
you did that last week.
You captained this. Yeah, exactly. You captained this football club. You know how much of a rivalry it is about them lot next door. And you can't even comment the fact that they've gone ahead and won a European trophy before you. Have some shame and at least say we're going to respond to this now. It's crazy, bro.
Connor, the last time we won a trophy, it has been 2 days. It has been 1,720 days last time you won a trophy.
Yeah, before that there was about 6,000 days. Sorry, you were going to say something.
This is what I mean. This club has absolutely fucked us now, man. This is the conversation we're going to have for the next year. I swear to God.
But whole summer I'm going to be a pain.
Until we win a trophy, we're mudded, bro.
Oh, now we're mudded.
What were you going to say, Don C? Last word, and then we're going to get out of here.
Connor, I get your frustrations, yeah, but you got to understand, this is a motherfucker that spoke about a football. We lost because of a football. Come on, bro. Yeah, this got no shame. Not 1 ounce of shame in his body. You ask him, how's your day going, yeah? He was talking about the grass he cut yesterday. He has no shame, yeah? Like, let's get this motherfucker out of the club. Like, I'm tired of him. I'm done with him.
But Can I say one more thing just quickly?
Yeah, one more thing, and we're taking it out.
As much as I make fun of you guys, and like I actually love you guys, but Man U, I think they're the new Spurs of the Premier League. I don't care what people say. They're the new Spurs.
You know what? And here's the thing: is I respect the content creators I work with that are United fans, but I hate United. So seeing them go down the tube like this is actually fantastic.
It's got
the upside of the Europa League.
Fantastic.
Yep. No, and yeah, we get to watch them struggle against mid-table teams next season. I'm telling you, this is only the beginning for Man United, and people aren't listening. But anyway,
by the way, Wirtz is given his total agreement on personal terms.
That was news. That was news earlier today.
Bro, they're going to sign Wirtz, Kirkes, Frimpong. They've got the can't pronounce his name, the goalkeeper from Valencia. You know, who is a very good goalkeeper, by the way. That's 4 signings. Obviously the other 3 aren't confirmed yet, but that's 4 not confirmed yet, but that's 4 signings before the window's even fucking opened. Like,
but Connor, remember something, Connor. Remember.
Get back to the important topic, which is Arne Slot. Slot out. That is my analysis of the slot situation. Hashtag slot out. Slot out.
Slot out.
But then that's it. But these guys have just won a league, and they're out here now doing more business. We're sitting here with our hands on our ass, enjoying a holiday. Because that's what the players should be doing.
And we're in for another summer. I'm going to run all the clubs. We're in for another summer of this.
Perceived, pushing for the deal, scouting the player, weighing up the options.
We're going to be weighing up options all season.
I tell you now, we're going to be doing deadline day all over again for the PR. We end up with a player like Raheem Sterling again on the 30th of August or whatever.
I just want to add, just quickly, I just remembered last time, I know you want to end. I've watched Benjamin Sesko a lot this year because I watched Bayern and Kane. Trust me, it's the last striker you want to buy.
I'm telling you,
Gyökeres makes sense. He's good, but Sesko is the definition of average. He's average, but from Slovakia. They're the same.
Oh my god, dude!
Like Sesko would finish the hardest. If it's a hard ball, he's gonna score. But the easiest chance he would miss every single time. He's the most frustrating player you're gonna see. So enjoy it. I hope you get
it. Great. I can't wait. Big up everybody.
Another project player. Fantastic.
Another project, and we're gonna be here watching all of it. And losing our
trophy again.
And losing days and liver functionality.
Who are you playing next?
All right.
What? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not even watching that game. I'm gonna play GTA and keep an eye on the Forest Chelsea game. That's all I'm gonna care about.
Do you know that meme? You know that GIF of the 2 guys, and one of them does that, and he disappears. There's the two guys. That's how I'm feeling right now. Whenever I see anything. I swear to God, that's me. I want to peace out and disappear, bro. I swear to God, this season's been a write-off. This has been the worst May possible. Liverpool won the league. We got knocked out the Champions League. Spurs have just won the Europa
Newcastle
League. And but even
Crystal Palace.
Can I just say, please, just to make it just not even as shit. Arsenal women, can you win tomorrow night against Barcelona, please? Can we have something to at least say, well,
you're not beating Barcelona.
Can you go ahead and win the Champions League for us?
They scored 9 goals.
Yeah, don't Barcelona.
The Barcelona women's team
have
the best women's team out there with Leon
in the world.
Yeah, so they've got Bon Matti, Graham Hansen. Oh no.
Yeah, Bon Matti, dude. Yeah, no, they're and I follow women's football because the Current are the best team in the United States. You're welcome.
I just got to hope and pray that Alessia Russo or them lot turn up.
Yeah, but all right, guys. Well, we're gonna end it there. Don C, you and I will continue this absolute fucking therapy session tomorrow with Flawless.
That's going to be the most that's going to be the most cook yourself show ever. Man United and Arsenal in one panel. It's
I'll cook a Tony.
No, dude, if Tony doesn't show up in the show.
Has he been around, Tony? Is he
I just was on a show with him 2 days ago.
Oh, so he is around. Okay.
I hit him up. I was like, Tony, we got lots to talk about. We need justice for our club. He was like, 7:30.
Dude, okay. You know what? Yeah, but when it comes to showing his face after all the stars aligning BS, justice for Kai, dude, you could make a 60-second to 90-second smash cut of everything that this guy has said all season, and it was just wrong and embarrassing.
Oh, yo,
Justice for Kai.
No, Igel is the most embarrassing for saying big up Ange for winning the trophy. That's actually disgusting for saying that.
Dude, no, I'm not talking about that. I will never yeah, he did. He did it on X. I will never fucking say congratulations to that fucking cock on a ball fucking club.
Champions of Europe, ole ole.
Okay, all right. Well, it was good to have Dietrich's on. That is the show, everybody. Who's live, by the way? Who's live that we can redirect to? Who's live?
Probably is Lee doing emergency meeting?
No,
Lee's probably doing. Yeah, no. You know what? We'll redirect you. We'll redirect you over to that fraud. Will go over there and say, TJ Warren TV raid. Will's a fraud. You'll see him on American Waffle this week. The next time I will be live on this channel is for American Waffle because the Southampton game does not fucking matter. And then you can probably find me on Sarcasm City on Sunday playing GTA with the boys. Let's just do that on the playback. Fuck it. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dal. Thank you so much, Connor. Thank you so much, Don C. Great show. And we will see you guys next time.
You're not God. You don't have the answers. You don't have the answers, Connor. You don't have the answers. Let's just stay like, you don't have the answers.